Hey there, this is Clay, and over the past couple days, we've been really addressing the most common excuses that people's exes give them for why they broke up with you, why they left the relationship. And we've gone over a whole bunch of them so far over the past 5 days, but today we're going to go ahead and talk about the biggest one that Mika and I saw when we asked you guys what your ex told you. And this is really kind of two sort of things. One is the whole, yeah, it's not you, it's me kind of thing. And then the other one was also the, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Did your ex say that to you? I'm guessing based on the volume of responses that we got that they probably did. So this is kind of what that means, and this is what you should be doing about it. So when someone says that they love you, but they're not in love with you, what that really means is kind of like what we talked about yesterday. There's that scale between what feels good and what feels bad, and as things kind of move towards the bad side, the relationship starts to deteriorate. But you can also think about this like a kitchen sink, okay? Assuming you have a perfectly functioning kitchen sink, you can turn on the water, and the water comes out of the faucet, and it goes down the drain, and everything works fine, right? And that's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way that relationships actually work when everything's going fine. You turn on the attraction comes out, and it just kind of, everything works the way it's supposed to. And the sink doesn't overflow or anything like that. But what happens oftentimes is that sometimes sinks get clogged, right? Sometimes sinks get clogged, the water kind of builds up in the sink, and if you don't figure out how to turn it off, sooner or later it's going to flood all over the place and bad things are going to happen. You're going to have a really big mess on your hands. And that's actually what happens when a lot of people break up, is that there's this emotional clog that's blocking the attraction that's already there in the relationship. The two of you got together, obviously. There is some amount of attraction between the two of you, otherwise you would have never gotten together in the first place, right? So the issue isn't attraction. Your ex obviously thinks you're attractive, otherwise you two would have never been in a relationship to begin with. You obviously think your ex is attractive, otherwise you wouldn't be on this newsletter watching this video right now. But what happened? It's not that attraction got lost and you need to go out and re-attract your ex. I've seen a lot of those videos on the internet that say, you need to re-attract your ex. Here's the secret NASA declassified military secrets on how to re-attract your ex. You don't need to do that. You really don't, because the attraction's already there. The two of you are already attracted to each other. The problem is that clog in the sink, right? It's that emotional clog. It's that emotional, bad emotions kind of got in the way and clogged things up to the point where that attraction that's already there is being blocked, and the two of you can't feel it. So when your ex says that they just aren't attracted to you anymore, that they're in love with you but they're not in love with you, they're really saying that there's an emotional clog in our relationship. And so the solution then isn't to try to attract them harder. That'd be like turning on the water even harder so that it floods faster, the sink floods faster and overflows into the kitchen. No, the solution is instead to remove the emotional block. Remove the emotional block and let the water do what it's already going to do on its own anyway. Flow out the drain. And suddenly you have this nice clean sink that's not overflowing, and everything just works the way it's supposed to. And the two of you are attracted again, and you're in love again, and everything is great the way that it used to be. So how do you do this? How do you get rid of the emotional clog? Well, the thing that you have to understand is that most people bring a lot of weird expectations and baggage and stuff like that into relationships. Probably you as well. I know you're a smart person. There are a lot of exceptionally smart people on this newsletter. I'm actually surprised by that. But even so, we all have our own assumptions, beliefs, and things that we bring into relationships. We get these from, seeing our parents and how they interacted with one another, the way that their relationship or marriage with one another worked or didn't work. We pick things up on TV and in magazines and books and movies and stuff like that. And they just kind of give us all of these mistaken false beliefs about how a relationship should be, about what feels good, about what you should realistically expect from a relationship. And that is really, in a lot of ways, what the emotional clog is based out of. It's based out of all of these beliefs, and just, you have your own beliefs, and then your ex, your partner, has their own beliefs, and then the two of you come together, and sometimes they don't really work together very harmoniously. And so that's where the clog really happens. And so what you need to do is you need to learn the relational skills that help you get past all of these limitations, beliefs, expectations, things like that are causing you problems in your relationship. We teach you all kinds of relational skills inside of the X Solution program. That's something I'd like to invite you to join today if what I've just described sounds like you. If you think there's an emotional clog in the sink of your relationship, I'd like to invite you to join the X Solution program, where we can teach you the emotional and relational skills that you need and tools that you need in order to unclog that sink, so the attraction that's already there between you and your ex can start to flow again. And you can do this without having to be in contact with them. So if right now they're not picking up answering your phone calls, that's okay. Again, we deal with this inside the X Solution program too. Right now, if they say they hate your guts, that's okay. You just maybe have a little bit more of a clog than other people. But with enough work, you can get past it. This works if you're in a long-distance relationship, if your ex left you for someone else. All of those things are just kind of superficial circumstances, and they're things that we can absolutely help you get past by teaching you these relational skills. And if that's something you'd like to learn, I'd really like to invite you to join the X Solution program. You can go ahead and click down below. There's a link to it down below. You can go ahead and sign up if this sounds like something that would be helpful to you and your relationship. Again, if this is not something that you don't think would help you, if you don't think there's an emotional clog in your relationship, if you don't think you need to learn some new skills to help heal things between you and your ex, that's fine too. Maybe the X Solution program isn't for you. But if this does resonate with you, then I really would like you to at least consider joining the X Solution program. Go click on the link down there. It'll take you to a page that talks a little bit more about what's inside the X Solution program. If you think it's a good fit for you, I'd really just like to invite you to go ahead and sign up. If it doesn't work out for you, that's okay. We have a guarantee. It's guaranteed to work. If it doesn't work for you, that's totally fine. We'll give you all your money back. You can find out more about that down below. But either way, I want you to really decide whether or not you believe that you and your ex, that there is still attraction between the two of you. It's just been blocked by negative emotions. Or I want you to decide if you need to keep chasing this fool's gold of trying to re-attract them back, trying to learn how to be an alpha male, or pretend like you're high status, or use reverse psychology or mind games or something like that to trick them into forcing them against their will to fall in love with you with neuro-linguistic programming sequences or whatever. Or if you actually believe that your ex does still have feelings for you, does still have attraction for you, that you still feel attraction for them as well, and that the two of you can kind of bring those sparks back together again, bring those wires back together again just by getting rid of the clog. And if that's something you'd like our help with, please just go ahead and sign up for the X Solution program. We'll help you on the inside. We have a discussion member community where people just like you are getting their burning questions answered right now. We have a team that works all around the clock to help you get answers. We do take weekends off, but we're all over the world. So whatever time zone you're in, there's probably someone awake helping people. And if you have a burning question, we're here to give you answers. We're here to help you. We're here to help you, teach you the skills you need to unclog your emotional block in your sink so that you and your ex can come back together again. And if that's something you'd like help with, again, just go down below and click on the button. This has been Clay, and I hope this has been helpful to you. Take care.